Some things are in our control and others not. Epictetus. Are you ready to uncover the secrets to inner stability and resilience? Today, we'll delve into 7 transformative principles from Epictetus's Manual of Life that will change how you view and respond to the world around you. Imagine living a life where the opinions and criticisms of others no longer affect your peace of mind. What if you could navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and control? Epictetus teaches us that while we can't control everything, we can control how we react. Our journey today will explore this profound wisdom and show you how to apply it to your own life. We'll discuss how to focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. You'll learn strategies to remain unaffected by others' judgments and discover how to cultivate a mindset that shields you from external negativity. These principles are not just philosophical ideas. They're practical tools for a more peaceful and resilient life. Curious about how these ancient teachings can revolutionize your modern life? Stay with us as we reveal the 7 principles that will help you conquer your inner turmoil and achieve a state of true stability. If you haven't yet, subscribe now to ensure you don't miss any of our upcoming insights. Get ready to transform your perspective and empower yourself with the timeless wisdom of Epictetus. Let's dive in. Principle 1. Handling assaults and insults. The lessons of Epictetus are a sobering reminder that our subjective assessment of someone's insult or offense does more harm than the act itself. What upends our inner tranquility is essentially how we judge the activity as improper or harmful. For this reason, our internal response to the external occurrence is what really concerns us first. At such times, it is critical to develop self-control and self-awareness. We have to work to keep our cool and be impartial, rather than letting outward looks or other people's opinions influence us. Self-control gets simpler to achieve, and we can learn to gracefully and resiliently negotiate life's obstacles. Knowing that insults and transgressions have no inherent ability to hurt us is essential to the Stoic philosophy. The emotional suffering is caused by our attachment to these unfavorable assessments and interpretations. Realizing this fact will help us to keep our inner calm and release ourselves from the influence of other people's opinions. Recall that only if we give them permission will people who want to disparage or offend us be able to succeed. Not that we should avoid criticism or negativity. Rather, we should be able to handle and overcome it. This is the core of resilience, the ability to go through adversity and come out stronger. When someone insults or offends us, we must stop and consider if we want to let this outside event control how we feel inside. Is anything outside of my control worth sacrificing my mental tranquility? Taking on a Stoic attitude allows us to change our attention from the outside world to our own reaction, giving us the freedom to respond any way we see fit. Much like insults, desires are unavoidable parts of being human. They will never go away. Trying to stifle or eradicate them is pointless. Rather, we have to learn to recognize and embrace our impulses and to respond to them with judgment and moderation. Strengthening our inner will and resilience, we develop the capacity to withstand insults and resist temptations. We learn to be less vulnerable to outside factors and more adept at preserving our inner tranquility in the face of adversity. Sometimes a harsh comment or critique throws us off totally. Recalling that we are not the only ones dealing with these difficulties is crucial in such situations. All people have gone through comparable circumstances at some time in their lives. Our quest for self-mastery and personal development must be continued amid trying circumstances. We provide ourselves the means to weather life's ups and downs with resiliency and fortitude by exploring the tenets of Stoicism and developing a deeper awareness of ourselves. Principle 2. Holding fast to the goals. This idea emphasizes the need to be ready for the difficulties that will unavoidably surface when one tries to be unaffected by the views of others. We have to get ready for the road ahead if we want to develop an attitude impervious to criticism from others. Do we really want to pursue philosophy, knowing that society might make fun of or mock us for it? Get ready to hear things like, "Oh, so now you're suddenly a philosopher?" Or "Where did this newfound arrogance come from?" But when such criticism comes, one must remain humble and honest. Choose hobbies that support your health and personal development, rather than taking on a conceited attitude. Recall that if you stick to your goals, people who formerly teased you can start to admire you. On the other hand, you run the danger of drawing double criticism if you let other people's ideas influence you. This idea is relevant to any aspect of life, not only philosophical study. To fit in with society's norms or silence critics, people far too frequently abandon their own interests and skills. Epictetus warns us that giving in to peer pressure rather than our own efforts and flaws is what leads to failure. More of a break from who we really are than a real failure. Hence, it is necessary to keep going even in the face of brief doubt or scorn. Avoid giving up just to stay out of social situations or people's criticism. Perseverance helps you to unite with your ideas and actual nature. Think carefully about this idea anytime you have to make a choice in life. Analyze your goals and driving forces, then make an effort to live according to your strongest beliefs and ideals. Adopting this way of thinking basically enables us to live genuinely and in harmony with who we really are. To resist the demands of society and stick to our goals, one needs bravery and tenacity. Still, the benefits of living according to our values much exceed the brief discomfort of being judged by others. Thus, while you negotiate the complexity of life, remember this wisdom and allow it to direct you. Principle 3. Never mind a poor reputation. Epictetus teaches a potent lesson about how to go through life without being influenced by negative comments made by others. He reminds us that the opinions of others would be able to make us sad if pursuing outside accolades were really bad. Still, this is untrue. Therefore, we must not let the dread of being undervalued or ashamed overcome us. Actually, our own deeds and decisions define our value more than the views of others. All we are responsible for are the areas and choices that fall into our purview. This ageless advice is especially pertinent in the modern world, where pursuing social acceptance, especially on social media, can be mentally taxing. How frequently do we realize that in our chase of approval, we compromise our authenticity? Does putting our mental health on the line for momentary pleasure really make sense? These are issues we need to address in a culture that frequently confuses happiness with popularity. We learn from Stoicism the value of being yourself and concentrating just on our controllable factors. Resilience and inner calm can be developed by letting go of our need for outside approval and standing firm in our values. Never forget that nobody can hurt us unless we let them when we are the target of insults or scorn. Realizing that individuals who want to make us lessen ourselves to do so because of their own views and convictions is crucial. Their acts are a mirror of their own flaws, not of our values or moral character. They should therefore not disturb us. Rather, we should gracefully and resiliently bear their insults. To live by Stoic ideals ultimately means to acknowledge that we have no control over the thoughts or deeds of others. Building integrity and inner strength should be our top priorities, not looking to other people for approval. Accepting this way of thinking relieves us of the need to get approval and allows us to discover genuine contentment and fulfillment within. Principle 4. Exercise of strong self-control. Epictetus instructs us to handle our minds as carefully as we do our bodies in order for an insult to become an offense. Knowing the danger it would entail, I'm confident you wouldn't let a stranger inside your house every day. On the other hand, we let someone into our thoughts and stay there for a few days when we take an insult personally. We therefore let strangers into our thoughts even if we would never let them inside our houses. Discipline and self-control need to be developed if we are to reach a point where we can overlook the unpleasant emotions brought about by an insult. This is true for every circumstance in life, even those involving our own family. Exercise self-control when you feel angry, since doing so will help you feel more at ease with yourself and save a great deal of needless pain. This will, I assure you, drastically alter your life. Independent of the situation, self-control is an important ability that enables us to be cool and composed. We can live more balanced and satisfying lives if we practice it and prevent rash and negative responses. Thus, to reach a condition of inner tranquility and long-lasting well-being, never forget to practice discipline and self-control, and to look after your mind the same way you look after your body. Principle 5. Do as you think is best. Epictetus offers priceless advice on the need to adhere to our principles even in the face of miscommunication or incorrect assessment from others. Stoicism holds as its basic tenet that we should not let other people's judgments or opinions control our behavior or compromise our moral character. When we are doing morally and with convictions, why should we worry about other people's misinterpretations of us? In this day of social media, where the goal of acceptance and popularity frequently distorts our judgment and shapes our actions, this subject is especially pertinent. We can discover ourselves caving into the demands of others in a desperate attempt to be accepted rather than being true to ourselves. But real integrity is doing what is right for us, no matter what other people think or are expecting of us. It is critical to withstand the want to put our morals aside in order to fit in with society. Rather, even if our choices are controversial or misinterpreted by others, we must stick to our beliefs and make them. As we remain true to ourselves, we not only lead by example but also create a solid basis for our own happiness and fulfillment. Living in line with our principles brings deep and lasting happiness, even while other people's acceptance may be ephemeral and untrustworthy. Recalling that one's own honest evaluation is far more essential than the erroneous opinions of others. Our actions in keeping with our principles provide a strong foundation for a meaningful and purposeful life. Knowing that we are living honestly and with integrity brings us fulfillment rather than looking for approval from others. Finally, the lessons of Epictetus serve as a reminder to us of the need of adhering to our principles and self, even in the face of misinterpretation or criticism from other people. Being sincere and moral helps us to not only foster our own happiness, but also encourage others to follow suit. The fulfillment that comes from leading a life of purpose and integrity ultimately surpasses the chase of approval from others. Principle 6. Embrace the impermanence of opinions. Epictetus teaches us to understand the transient nature of opinions, both our own and those of others. Human perspectives are constantly shifting based on new information, experiences, and emotions. By recognizing that opinions are impermanent and often influenced by fleeting circumstances, we can detach ourselves from the need to seek validation or fear criticism. This principle encourages us to stay grounded in our values and actions, regardless of changing external viewpoints. It reminds us that just as our opinions evolve, so do those of others, and what might seem important today may hold little significance tomorrow. Embracing this impermanence allows us to remain focused on what truly matters, our integrity and inner peace. Principle 7. You are untouchable. Through the implementation of this seventh principle, we set out on a quest to ascertain the reasons behind insults directed at us. It is clear that it is foolish and harmful to expect everyone to share our views or live up to our moral standards. Such expectations could be foolish and disappointing, as we cannot logically expect others to behave and think alike. Hence, it is necessary to stop and think when we are the target of verbal assaults and assertions that someone knows the truth about us. We are very aware of our own values, motivations, and views. No outsider can really understand this. Therefore, we have to question ourselves. Did our deeds merit such treatment when we are the target of abuse from an unknown? In such a case, we have to admit the limits of our comprehension of the insult's motivations. Relieved that we are the only ones with the key to our own truth, we may let go of remorse when we have behaved morally. Even if others think differently, as Epictetus so beautifully stated, there is no need to carry the burden of regret when we have behaved morally. Finally, may we remember the ageless wisdom of Epictetus. How long will we put off accepting the idea that we deserve the finest possible results and acting logically? We now have the academic understanding required to start this adventure. Our quest for self-improvement need not wait for perfect conditions or outside approval. We adults need to grab the now and start along the road of wisdom right now. A beacon of guidance, Epictetus's teachings exhort us to be cautious, accept our selected way of life, and develop self-awareness. Instead of holding out for the ideal circumstances to come together, we ought to take advantage of the chance to start our path to enlightenment and personal development right now. Epictetus basically serves as a reminder that pursuing wisdom is independent of other people's opinions or outside circumstances. This is a trip within that calls for bravery, reflection, and a readiness to question our assumptions. Through acceptance of this philosophy and intentional efforts at personal development, we can rise above the constraints of daily life and pursue a life of meaning and satisfaction. I'm sincerely grateful for your company on this remarkable journey through the annals of history and the vast expanse of wisdom. It's been a privilege to delve into these profound insights together, and I hope you found our exploration both engaging and enriching. Your presence here means the world to me, and your support fuels my fervor for sharing knowledge and igniting curiosity. If you've enjoyed our time together and found value in the content we've discussed, I'd be immensely grateful if you could take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. By doing so, you not only help spread the reach of our shared journey, but also contribute to the growth of our community of like-minded individuals dedicated to the pursuit of wisdom. Your feedback is invaluable to me, so please don't hesitate to leave a comment with any suggestions, questions, or simply to say hello. I deeply appreciate hearing from each and every one of you, and I'm committed to continuously improving and evolving our content based on your input. Until we meet again for our next adventure into the realms of history and wisdom, I encourage you to stay curious and keep exploring the boundless depths of knowledge that surround us. Together, we'll continue to uncover the hidden treasures of the past and illuminate the path toward a brighter, more enlightened future. Thank you once again for being part of this incredible journey,